majority of those students are confused whether they should go for the public policy or whether they should prepare for the UPSC or state public services examination or some government exams, because more or less in UPSC the syllabus and what you do in public policy, that's an extensive part of it, of course, but the basis of everything starts from the UPSC sort of preparation, that you are interested in history, you are interested in public administration. The thing is that you should have a good content writing skills, because at the end you will be writing a research paper. The way you write anything, you convey something to the government, because at the end, of course, you will be submitting your research paper, it will be publishing on a website. For Python you should know MS Excel. And I have met many students who say हाँ हाँ हमें Excel आता है, इसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, MS Excel is very easy. The easiest words I know, just go to YouTube and do any particular XYZ and watch any playlist on MS Excel course. Okay, so organizations that deal with specific sectors. So for example, we have some organizations who particularly deal in the public policy related to IT or public policy related to human rights, I can say. So just like in Maharashtra, there is a Praja Foundation where the interns work with RTI advocacy, and that's a very good organization. So there are some.
So hi everyone, welcome to the Gist with Jessica. Today we have with us Ritwik, who has a lot of experience working in the area of public policy and then into research and with political parties. So today he'll be explaining us his experiences and what kind of skills that are required to work in this sector, and he'll be also sharing his experiences working in political parties, in political campaign, and what you can expect from it. So I hope this session will be very helpful for you if you are in your college or you are just starting your career, or maybe you are just thinking of switching your career. So thank you so much, Ritwik, for being here. So I would really like to hear your introduction from your side. Maybe must have missed some points, so you can add into that.
Thanks for the invitation and namaste everyone. My name is Ritwik Mehta and I'm the founder of Niti Tantra and also working at the research department of PPGF, which is Public Policy, Politics and Governance Foundation. Both the organizations work particularly related to political research and policy research. I did my graduation in electrical engineering from Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala, and it's been around 1.5 years, 2 years that I am working in the field of public policy, as well as I've worked with various political parties in various political campaigns, be it Punjab elections or Himachal Pradesh elections. And as of now, I'm also in Maharashtra working on related things only. And apart from that, I also represent India at MGCY, which is Migration for Children and Youth, which is an organization that particularly deals with the migration and refugee related research. So yeah, I think so that's as of now.
Thank you, Ritwik, for your introduction. So you have done a lot in your graduation, and then you shifted from it. Like you have a different background, and then you shifted to a different field, and later you started of organization, which is very rare for young people to get into all these things, because after college there are a lot of people who are a lot confused actually where to go, which kind of skills should I have, should I continue with my course or the majors that I had in college, or should I shift? A lot of confusions are there. So could you just provide clarity to people who have just started their career or maybe who are still in college? What suggestion or what kind of skill set would you suggest them to have to get into all these kind of organizations?
Okay, so I would divide this particular question into two parts. So there are a set of people who are from the non-technical courses, and there are a set of people or students who are doing some technical courses like engineering or some sort of masters in engineering, MTech sort of courses. So for the non-technical courses, those who are pursuing their bachelor's or masters in economics or political science or such related subjects. So what I find is that first of all, you should be very much clear about that what is public policy about, because majority of the students who intern at my organization or at other think tanks as well, or those who want to explore this particular field of policy research, majority of those students are confused whether they should go for the public policy or whether they should prepare for the UPSC or state public services examination or some government exams, because more or less in UPSC the syllabus and what you do in public policy, that's an extensive intensive part of it, of course, but the basis of everything starts from the UPSC sort of preparation, that you are interested in history, you are interested in public administration, you are interested in economics and international relations. So majority of the students, they are confused whether they should go for public policy and UPSC. So of course, we Indians, or I should say the students at this particular age, they go with both the options, that we will try with the UPSC also, we'll try with the public survey, with this public policy research also,
Right.
and whatever works for us, we'll go with that. So if you are in your first year, second year, or any XYZ year, so first of all, if you are in your first or second year of your bachelor's in a non-technical course, I would suggest that first of all you should have a very good understanding of political science, some political knowledge. You should have interest in politics. I have heard many people saying that public policy has no relation with politics, but it is my particular view that if you have interest in politics, only then you can have an interest in public policy, because at the end it is a political party that brings a public policy. So for example, it's only,
Right.
you can expect NDA to bring uniform civil code. You won't expect Congress to bring uniform civil code, sort of things. So it's a political party that brings a public policy or laws, various acts. So if you have interest in politics, you have sort of interest that, okay, this particular thing should be done in this way, the government should act in this particular way. That means you have a very good fair knowledge of, or you have an interest in public policy. Second thing is that you should have a good content writing skills, because at the end you will be writing a research paper. The way you write anything, you convey something to the government, because at the end, of course, you will be submitting your research paper, it will be publishing on a website. You are suggesting something to the government that, okay, this is the analysis of your policy, these are the mistakes and these are the recommendations. So until and unless you are good at content writing, you can't enter this particular field of public policy. So the first skill that I think that you should, if you are interested into making a career in public policy, you should be very good at content writing. So how to be good at content writing? So if you haven't written any blog as of now and you are in your college, first of all, have a habit of reading newspaper every day. It can be any XYZ newspaper, but mostly people prefer reading The Hindu and Indian Express. Okay, so those two newspapers that I read every day, they are The Hindu and Indian Express. Okay, now what to read in those newspapers? It is very good if you can read the whole newspaper. It will take you around 40-45 minutes to read one newspaper, so you have to give every around 1.5 hours to the newspaper every day. But the most important part in a newspaper is the op-eds, the editorial pages. If you see in a newspaper, first of all, read how the writers have written an op-ed, and just see it, that how they have written an op-ed and their writing style. Now after that, when your college is over, whenever you get any free time, choose any XYZ topic from the newspaper that you have read and write a small blog on this. For example, if I say that today the GST council meeting has happened today, and of course you know that after every GST council meetings, every state representatives will share their own experiences, that they were not, for example, they had this particular issue with the GST council decisions, and Nirmala Sitharaman ji has not listened to this particular problem, or XYZ. Okay, you say that I'll write a blog or a 500-word blog on this particular issue. You start your research by reading articles and write everything, whatever you have read, in your own words. And do this particular practice for at least 3 months. After 3 months, you will develop a very good habit of content writing. You will learn new words. You will learn how to frame sentences. So this is those people who are starting right from the scratch. Okay. So content writing is the one particular skill that you have to learn. And this particular skill will improve throughout your journey of public policy. So it's not that if I am into the field of public policy and it's been 1.5 years, I'll say ki I'm a very expert in public policy and I can write like as good as Dr. Shashi Tharoor. I can't say that. So it will improve during the whole time. The second skill that you have to learn is that you need to, as of now, like around 6 to 7 years ago, if you know Excel, it was good for you to have a placement to work for consultancy companies and all. But nowadays, data, data is the new oil that we say. So in public policy as well, you will be working on a lot of large data sets. Okay. So you should particularly learn Python. I would specifically point out, because of course if you are in your economic honors, you might be taught some languages like Stata and R as well. I'm not saying, but if this is not in your course, I would suggest you to learn Python. Okay, and because Python is the most easiest and very interesting coding language, and it is very much used in all the consultancies in data science, in machine learning, as well as in public policy as well. Of course, before Python you should know MS Excel. एंड आई हैव मेट मेनी स्टूडेंट्स हु से हाँ हाँ हमें एक्सेल आता है, इसमें कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है, MS Excel is very easy. Like in the easiest words I know, just go to YouTube and do any particular XYZ and watch any playlist on MS Excel course. Okay, so after MS Excel, learn Python, and these are the two particular things that are very much required in public policy. After that, you are good at content writing, you are good at analyzing, and start reading some research papers. Do read any XYZ on any particular topic, 1 to 2 research papers every day. You'll get to know about how research papers are framed, like how to write an abstract, how to do the methodology, how to write a literature review, how to formulate recommendations, and then you start writing your own research papers and then start applying at research policies. So this is for those people who are in the non-technical courses, because they are learning political science, they are dealing with economics, or they are dealing with any non-technical courses as well. But those who are in technical courses, just like I was in my engineering college, those who have to do coding in their college, they have to read something else. So what about them? So the process will be the same. It's just that you have to take a lot of time for that. You have to take time to read the books. You have to take time to read the history or the political science and newspaper every day. The process will be the same. But be ready to get rejected by a lot of organizations, because the same thing happened with me as well. That many organizations rejected my application, saying that you are from an engineering college and we don't expect you to write research papers. Go and write technical research papers. Why are you jumping into the field of public policy? So be ready for rejections as well. But at the end, you have to prove that you have that kind of knowledge. And before you apply for any particular organization, keep yourself handy with at least 3 to 4 good blogs you have written, or at least 3 to 4 research papers you have written. Because at the end, if you get, for example, if you get shortlisted, the first thing that an organization will demand is a sample paper. So an unpublished sample paper I'm talking about, because sometimes students submit published research papers and the organization demands an unpublished paper. So always keep at least 3 to 4 unpublished blogs or research papers handy with you on, and at least on any recent topic. Yeah. So this is the particular skills that you require to jump into the field of public policy.
Thank you so much for your answer. When you are answering about having an opinion, because when you read, you build opinion, and it helps you in a lot of things. It doesn't, it does not matter that you should only have opinion about some political party or what political development is happening in a
Exactly.
country, but on a overall or like spec, right? Whatever is happening, at least you know what is happening. But I know one incident, what happened with me is when I was interviewing for one political campaign that was happening. So there was this one organization. So I just want to add this tip into this, that when you talk about opinion, don't have a rigid opinion. This is what I think, because you never know, the organization you are approaching, which kind of political party or what political party they are going to work with. So if you are giving a very straightforward answer that I don't want to work with this kind of organization, political party, sorry, or I don't like this kind of ideology, don't be very rigid
Hmm,
to it,
hmm.
or don't just judge a political party by 1 or 2 of its member that you don't like. And don't be just very straightforward that, yeah, I think this is it and I don't want to work with it. And later on, you are not going to hear from them back, because you don't know,
Exactly.
right? They don't tell you that, yeah, we are working for XYZ political party, right? So I think this is the mistake that I did in my one of my interview.
Just one particular thing. So there are 99.9% chances that during your college time you will have an ideology. you might call yourself a leftist or you might call yourself a right winger. Of course, when you ask the person for the first time, everyone will say, "Nahi, nahi, we don't support any political party. We are a very neutral person." But deep inside, you know that which political party you support or which ideology you support.
Right.
But this is a very good thing about public policy, that when you're writing a policy paper, you have to critically analyze any policy, whether or not you support that particular ideology or not. And this is a very good thing about public policy that I like. That's why I'm very good when
Right.
someone calls me a policy researcher, because that gives me the freedom to critically analyze any public policy, even if I support any political ideology or not. So that's of course reiterating your
Right,
same
right.
point
Because you
only.
back
Yes,
up
exactly.
with
Exactly. So when you're writing any particular blog or you're writing any policy paper, just keep aside your political ideology or whatever you have, your opinion regarding any particular thing. And especially this thing happens if the topic is a very controversial topic. So for example, if you're writing on, nowadays we are having a debate on same-sex marriage. So after the government of India submitted that this particular thing can destroy the society, destroy the concept of marriage. So I saw a lot of youngsters who were, abusing the government of India, that, oh my God, they are against same-sex marriage and all. But you as a public policy researcher, you need to understand what the government is saying. So just listen to what the Attorney General has said in the court, how the court proceedings have been formulated, what the Chief Justice of India has said, and what the government has presented during the whole court proceedings, and then formulate everything. So develop a habit of listening to anyone, be it any political party, be it any politician.
Yeah, so thank you so much for explaining it, in a very detailed manner. Since you were mentioning about a lot of platforms, you have to write a blog and then you can find up organization which are hiring people. So, in continuation to that same question, would you suggest a few of the platform where, students or the young professional where they can rely, where they can get updates about organization? I think, in my personal opinion, I prefer LinkedIn a lot. I follow a lot of organization that keeps on posting. So in your opinion, what would you suggest and how to approach, organizations?
So it is indeed a very difficult process to find out the public policy organizations, because there is no such particular website where the whole data is collated and it's put on a one particular site. So in India, you will find there are some think tanks. Even there are some NGOs as well that work in the field of public policy, advocacy, and some sort of things, for example. And there are some specific organizations that deal with specific sectors. So for example, we have some organizations who particularly deal in the public policy related to IT or public policy related to human rights, I can say. So just like in Maharashtra, there is a Praja Foundation where the interns work with RTI advocacy, and that's a very good organization. So there are some sort of organization that you have to particularly search for it, that which particular organization deals with human rights, which particular organization deals with gender studies and all. Just like I was just reading it yesterday that there is an Oxfam organization that has rolled out another particular sector to deal with gender studies. And there is Center for Policy Research, Center for Public Policy Research, Center for Economic Research. So there are a lot of think tanks in India. You can get the list from internet only. But the thing is that based on your skills, that you are an entry level researcher or you are a pro level researcher, based on that you should apply for the think tanks. Because for example, if you are just starting your journey in public policy, you are just a newbie, you haven't written any policy paper, and you are saying that okay, I'll apply at Center for Policy Research and get an internship. You might get an internship if you are lucky. Okay, I'm not saying that, but there are very low chances that your application will get selected, or might be PRS as well on the very first go. If you haven't written any policy paper, you don't have any experience in content writing. So I think so there are some think tanks. One of the think tanks is of course my own think tank, the Niti Tantra, where we provide internships to the youngsters, those who have zero experience in public policy, but they want to learn public policy. They have some sort of idea about public policy and they are good at content writing, we provide them internship opportunities at Niti Tantra. If you have some good experience in public policy and you are looking for a paid internship as well as a paid job as well, not only in the field of public policy but also political consultancy, our parent like our related organization where I work or handle the research department, it's PPGF, Policy, Politics and Governance Foundation. You can go to that website PPGF, just type on Google PPGF and you will get the website. Go on to the application form, fill the application form, and we have a paid internship as well as it's a training cum internship cum training program where will the mentors will teach you everything and you'll get paid for it. There are some assignments that you have to do, there are some research papers that you have to submit, and based on your performance during the internship, PPGF will provide you full-time job opportunities to work with various union cabinet ministers, state cabinet ministers, as well as in ministries and other think tanks or political consultancies as well. So these are the two organizations that I closely work with, so that's why I'm naming those organizations. So that's for the entry level people. Okay, so entry level, if you don't have any idea, apply at my organization. Welcome to all. Okay, go to Niti Tantra's website or message me on LinkedIn. Happy to have you. If you have good experience, you have already worked with some organization and you are looking for a paid internship or a career in political consultancy, apply at PPGF. So these are the two organizations. Now, the third thing that many students are confused about is that whether they should go for a master's in public policy to get a job in public policy after their bachelor's, because majority, still 90% students in India, what they do is that they have done bachelor's in political science. Okay, let's do a master's in political science, or bachelor's in economic honors. Now let's do a master's in economic honors. That's what usually students do. But if you are interested in public policy, so many students say that, okay, let's have a master's in
Right.
public policy.
One question that actually I wanted to ask from you is, have any suggestion for people? Because last time when we were having conversation, so you were suggesting very insightful things about students who want to pursue public policy in India. So what kind of universities, or all over the world actually? So what type of universities would you suggest, and what kind of expectations they should have at least, because when you are paying a lot of fees in this kind of university, or specifically in this post, you have a lot of expectations that when you are coming out of the college, you are getting a good job at least, right? So what would you suggest? What kind of expectations students should have, and how to choose a better university?
Okay, so in India, I should say it's my particular view that public policy and policy research its very nascent stage in terms of paying the students. So if you are saying that I will work for a public policy research organization and I am a fresher as well and I want a very good high paying job, just like 70,000 per month, 80,000 per month, the same level of an IT engineer is earning. So don't have that much amount of expectation. If you are in India, if you are in abroad or in any foreign country, you can expect that much amount, because what's happening in India is that the government of India, for making any XYZ policy, the consultations are via Niti Aayog. So if you get a job at Niti Aayog, that's a very good thing. Okay, they pay well. That's a very good particular job. If you get a job at Niti Aayog, apply at Niti Aayog. Even Niti Aayog provides internship opportunities as well. Okay. But if you don't get a job at Niti Aayog and you are saying that I'll apply at any private policy think tank, and you are expecting that you will get a very high paying job around 70-80,000 every year, you will have a very good hike, then I think so you should not have that much amount of expectations, because the government of India does not consult with the private think tanks. As far as I know, the information that I have, or even the state governments don't have that much amount of conversations or some sort of things with the private think tanks organizations. So that's why they hire very less. Their budget is also very less. They are also dependent on very a lot of donations from foreign organizations or national organizations, like from Tata's, Birla's or Ambani's. They will fund one of the organizations we have, ORF. Okay, so this is about India. So particularly if you ask me, if like the student should do masters in public policy from India or from any foreign country, I would suggest any time foreign country. Okay, because the culture over there is very good. Everything is established. For example, if I take the example of United States, you have different think tanks to work on various fields. You like there's a think tank that will work related to social security. There's a think tank that's working in the military air force related research. And there are some that will work specifically on economics research. Okay, and those think tanks, they are closely working with the government. So it's not that you'll be writing a draft and no one will be considering it. You'll be paying more. You'll be called to universities. You can also work as a guest lecturer in various colleges as well. So the future is very good. But again, the whole process is very difficult. You have to clear GRE. You should have a very good GRE score, and then finding a good college. Fees is also very huge. Getting a scholarship, very hard to get a scholarship. So I would suggest foreign at the top. If you have good resources or you get a scholarship, you get a good GRE score, go for any foreign university in Singapore, USA, Germany also. There are very good universities, you'll find that. But if you are in India, you want to do a master's in public policy from India, the first preference that I will give is to the IM Ahmedabad course, or the IM course that is particularly designed by the Ministry of Skill and Development on this particular public policy, which whose name is Mahatma Gandhi National Fellowship Yojana, the Mahatma Gandhi MGNF, what they say. So MGNF is a very fantastic fellowship under which that you'll be working in various IM. Every IM, there are around, I think so, 9 to 10 IMs that have this particular course running, and every March or April the applications are open. There are some, you have to give the exam, you have to give an interview, and the batch starts around in June or July. You'll be working on ground with the district collectors, with the ministers, and you'll be closely working on the policy making. And the best thing is that, of course, the job is short. After 2 years, it's a 2 years course. You'll surely get a job at a very good place in any government office or any particular. You can also sit for the placements. Of course, you know about the IMs, the craze for the IMs, of course. So you can sit for the placements as well. But in the first year of your this particular course, I think so, the stipend is 50,000 per month, and in second year of your course, the stipend is 60,000 per month. So you'll be paid for doing this particular fellowship. So I'll put this particular fellowship at the top if you are in India and if you are aiming to make a very good career in public policy. If not this particular MGNF fellowship, what after that? Then I think so, you should go for Tata Institute of Social Sciences. There's a college, very famous college, very famous for public policy, and they have tie-ups with very good organization. The placement is also very good. Of course, it depends upon the course that you are doing over there. Just like I have many of my colleagues, they are doing their masters in public policy from TIS under urban policy or economics also. So it depends, of course, depending upon the course that you are pursuing from TIS. But TIS has a very good reputation and the placements as well. Apart from that, you can do internship at PRS. So the most important thing, or like the benefit of doing an internship at PRS, is that of course
Right.
many I have seen a lot of views about this, that PRS एक बार कर लो तो लॉटरी लग जाती है, like किस्मत खुल जाती है अगर आपका PRS के अंदर सिलेक्शन हो जाए. And that's true to some extent, that if you get selected for PRS, that's a very good organization. You get hands-on experience to work with some Lok Sabha members and Rajya Sabha members. But at the same time, इट ऑल्सो डिपेंड्स कि आप किसके साथ काम कर रहे हैं, किस एमपी के साथ काम कर रहे हैं. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ यू गेट अ चांस टू वर्क विद डॉक्टर शशि थरूर, so of course you know about Dr. Shashi Tharoor. Dr. Shashi Tharoor is very active in Lok Sabha, so you'll be asked to frame starred and unstarred questions. That particular MP is very active in debates as well, so you'll be very happy working with that particular MP. So but for example, if you get to work with any MP who is always absent from Lok Sabha, who does not have any interest in debating, so PRS will be, of no benefit to you. So, but one thing that you can do is that at least you can have a contact with any political person, and you can start your journey in political research via contacts. आपका कहीं ना कहीं से तो, what they say in India, आपका जुगाड़ हो जाएगा. कहीं ना कहीं से तो पॉलिटिशियन के थ्रू आपका जुगाड़, काम का, रोजगार का आपका जुगाड़ हो जाएगा. सो PRS इज अ वेरी वेरी गुड थिंग दैट वाया एन इंटर्नशिप यू कैन गेट अ फुल टाइम जॉब एट एनी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Apart from that, there are some private colleges also that offer masters in public policy, but I don't recommend it. Based on what I have heard from the students about their placements, and many students then particularly come to me. They intern at our organization. They are in their second year and they don't even know how to write a policy paper, how to write a literature review. So I have seen the condition of private universities teaching masters in public policy. So I particularly don't recommend masters in public policy. NLUs also are offering public policy courses, but I think so they are very expensive as well. So if you can afford it, so if you can, then you can go for that. So that's why I am saying, in India, getting a job in public policy is somewhat difficult. Meeting your expectations, then your salary expectation, is also very difficult. So I would particularly recommend if you try doing a course in or your masters in public policy from foreign country, get a good score in GRE or try to get a scholarship.
Oh, you also mentioning that it's difficult to get into this field, but what I think is it's very difficult at the very starting, but when you once get into this field, it's all about the networking. Like you mentioned
Yes,
about
yes.
politician, ki jugaad ho hi jayega. So it's all enter into this. Don't just go in any organization with this concept that, okay, I'm going to work very hard and that's it. I'll be sitting 9 to 5 and I'll be working. And after that, I'm not talking to anyone. I'm not doing anything else. But this is not the major task. You have to build networking. You have to connect with more and more people, right? Because when you leave this job, at least you have the connection so that people working in different organization can refer you somewhere else, or they can suggest you better opportunities as well. So it's more about the networking and connections that you build. Work is also important, but I think connections are also very important in this field. Question is about your experience in hiring, actually, because since you're mentioning you are in this organization and a lot of students from second year, third year, and young professionals, those who have just started their approached organization and started working. So this will be a very straightforward question. What are the top 3 major skills that you look for, or any other organization, since you have a lot of experience with other people who hire, right? So what are the top 3 skills that decides that, okay, this candidate is going to be finalized?
Okay, so based upon my experience that has been in hiring the students across the country from various prestigious institutions like Delhi University, IITs as well, and the most surprising thing is that I have stopped hiring from my own college, because the students of my own college, they are not interested in public policy and they are not at all serious about working or doing an internship, just because of their work ethics. So I have stopped hiring from my own college from where I did my engineering. So the I divide the skill set into two particular sets: technical skills and non-technical skills. First of all, the technical skills, I don't expect intern that one should be very good at formulating the recommendations in a public policy, or might have written very good research papers, but at least I expect that the intern should have written some good number of blogs on public policy, should be good at content writing, and should have a good idea about have a very good knowledge of MS Excel at least. Because if you are in your bachelor's, you are in your first year or second year, and you don't know about MS Excel, that's a very, that's a very basic skill that you should know about. Because while writing a policy paper, the least thing that I will require is that I'll give you a data set and I'll ask you, just put this data on MS Excel sheet and, make a graph. But many interns, they get confused how to make a graph on MS Excel as well, or how to apply the formulas on MS Excel. How to do the formatting of the document or formatting of the MS Excel sheet. So these are very basic skills. So these are the basic skills that I want in an intern. The second thing I really want from the interns is that because what I have seen from the college, I have also been a college student, and one particular thing for the college students is that they want to enjoy as well. They don't want to attend the classes, but at the same time they want to achieve a lot of things, and they are involved in a lot of things. And college clubs and societies are the best place where you can chill, you can learn, you can do a lot of things. So what happens is that students from all the colleges, they are involved in hell lot of societies and clubs. So student, because they don't know about their interest, so a student will be involved in technical society also, in dancing club also, music club also, and then they will say ki that we will also apply at think tank organization that extensively requires you to put a lot of time on research. So whenever I hire any intern, I specifically ask them, are you involved in a lot of societies or clubs or not? So if the intern is involved in a lot of societies and clubs, even if the student is good at research or not, I'll most probably reject that particular intern, because that intern will not be able to give time to my organization. Because research, it's a reality. For writing a good research paper, I'll give you a lot of time. I always tell my interns, if you need 3 weeks, if you need a month to write a research paper, take it, because you are here to learn the research skill from here. But you need to give at least 2 to 3 hours every day. Of course, I don't put any bar on the X number of hours that an intern has to do, but still, if you have said that okay, today I'll start working on a research paper, at least you will require 2 to 3 hours to do the research and write a draft. But if you are involved in a lot of college societies and clubs, and you are saying that I'll put the college society at first preference and then your organization at second preference, then that's a red flag for me. So it's a suggestion, just a suggestion to the youngsters who are in their college, that if you want to balance out everything, I'm not saying that don't be involved in college societies, because of course getting a position in college society is also a matter of pride for a student, a college student. Just select some of the 1 or 2 clubs that you see that okay, I'll be working in that particular XYZ club, I'm learning a lot from that club, and that will particularly add a lot to my resume or CV as well. Okay, and this particular club will also not eat up that much amount of my time. And plus, punctuality, you should be very much punctual with everything, because
Right.
one particular skill that you should learn from your college days is how to work in an organization and how to do time management, how to manage your time. Because many students say कि सर हम तो एग्जाम से 2 दिन पहले पढ़कर भी पास हो जाते हैं. And that's what happened with me as well. I also used to study like this only, just studying 2 days before the exam and getting passed from the exam. That's not the case.
Right.
That's your decision. You want to study every day, or you want to study 2 days before the exam. That's of course depending upon you. But how to manage your time, how you divide your day, that okay, Saturday Sunday I'll go to do party with my friends, I'll go to any club, and half of the day I'll work on my research paper, I'll work on my assignments, my exams are coming, okay, so I'll devote that much amount of time to the college curriculum as well. So time management, you have to do this. So these are the small skills that when I want any particular thing to, when I hire the interns, this is for my organization. But for example, if I were into the shoes of those organizations which are hiring for the full time, the full time people, or
Right.
those who are which are very good organizations, when I gave interview at, for example, any top organization as well, so I particularly think the organization wants that you should be very good, you should have a very good knowledge of what's happening around, first of all. So for example, in your interview, when you say that I am a public policy analyst and I read newspaper every day. So for example, the interviewer asks you in the interview that okay, what are your views on the privatization in the railway sector, and then you say sorry sir, I don't have any views on this particular topic because I haven't read about it. Or for example, the question is about what are your views on the same-sex marriage, what are your views on the uniform civil code. These are very basic questions that you should have a answer prepared, because like these are very basic questions. That's what I am saying. So when you call yourself a public policy analyst and you are applying as a public policy researcher at an organization, every organization expects you to know some very basic things, what's happening around. And that's why I am saying that you should read editorials every day, you should read newspaper every day, and at least you should have an answer ready, a neutral answer. That's what Jessica, when we started this particular discussion, that you might have an ideology, that okay, I am against same sex marriage, or I am pro same sex marriage, or I am against uniform civil code, or I am pro uniform civil code. But as a public policy researcher, you don't have any ideology,
Right.
so keep a neutral answer ready with you, that sir, okay, this is what I think, but according to me the government should proceed in this particular way. So when you're applying at any
Right.
public policy organization, or even at any political organization as well, and you are not aware that that particular consultancy works for which political party, okay, don't show your left face or right face, just show the neutral face. That will be easy for the interviewer to judge your knowledge, because that particular interview will just run on your knowledge, and
Right.
any
That way you will
organization
not
wants a
predict
knowledgeable person.
analytics.
Exactly, exactly. So these are the skills that we really want. That person should be good at content writing, should be punctual, and should have a good knowledge of everything that is happening
Yeah.
around.
Thank you so much. Who are watching till here, I will link everything down in the description box about the fellowship that Ritwik mentioned, and the internship that he has mentioned, and the skills mentioning about the Excel. So there are a number of courses or the playlists that are available on the YouTube, and there are courses on the Coursera itself. You can get a certificate course for that, and on LinkedIn also, there are a number of pages in the name of Excel. If you will search in the search box, and they will give you the shortcuts. And I think it only takes 10 to 15 days, even 10 to 15 days or more. If you spend 1 to 2 hours a day on such kind of videos, you can learn everything in just a week or 10 days. So it's just a matter of practice. And so I'll link down everything in the description box. So Ritwik, we have a lot of questions, but I think we need to do a second session as well later on. But the last question I wanted to ask from you is from your experience. There are a number of people who want to go for the political consultancy, right?
Hmm.
So we have, in general, a lot of expectations that, oh, I'll be meeting them, I'll be doing that, and my life will be really good. So obviously, I really don't know because I don't have experience working in political consultancy, right? But a lot of people want to go into that. So, what are your experiences and what kind of expectations people should have before getting into this field, right? And so that they can decide that is it for me or not, or is it worth?
Okay. So, just one thing before I answer this question. So, Jessica told, I have informed every one of you that she will be putting down the links of those courses. Particularly, the thing that I experience, or a difficulty that we all experience, is that we have a lot of playlist on YouTube of MS Excel, or to learn any particular thing, and then we are confused that which particular channel we should follow. So I'll share the resources with Jessica. I have particularly categorized, selected some YouTube channels
Right.
which are very good for MS Excel, which are very good for Python. So I'll share the resources with Jessica, and she'll put down in the description of this particular video. So it will be very easy for you to, you just need to watch those videos, and that's a guarantee from my side. If you watch those videos, you'll definitely learn MS Excel or everything that is required for public policy. Even for it, even you are, if you don't want to go for public policy, you want to become a data analyst also, you can do that as well. Now, answering the question related to political consultancy. So political consultancy, first of all, is very different from public policy. Of course, the interest will generate from public policy, but now you are saying that you will work for any XYZ political party. So first of all, there, when you are working for a political party, ideology will come into it. So for example, if you say that I am a person who supports right wing organizations, I support the governing the government which is in power, I support the Bharatiya Janata Party, okay, for example, if I'm just taking an example. So you, like, even if you say that okay, just for the sake of money I'll work with Congress, it's like you will not be able to work with Congress, because your political ideology will kick in. No amount of money will able to satisfy your political ideology, and as a political consultant you are expected to give suggestions to the party. You are expected to brainstorm with the party or with the politicians, that what type of campaigns you can run, what type of narrative you can run. So until and unless your political ideology does not match with the consultancy or the political party you are working with or trying to work with, you won't be able to be successful in this particular political consultancy field. So first of all, I would, first suggestion is find whatever your political ideology is, work only with that political party. For example, if you call yourself a leftist, if you call yourself, that's what the definition that we have set. So you can work with any opposition political party. I'm not naming any political party, any XYZ opposition political party. But if you think that you are a sort of Hinduttvadi person, you sort of have a nationalist views, or sort of work with Bharatiya Janata Party or some similar organizations. Okay. Now, what kind of a work is, what work a consultancy do? Okay. So, any political party hires a consultancy for different amount of work. Okay. It may happen that a political party may have hired a consultancy just for social media. It may happen that a consultancy has been given the work for research, for manifesto preparation, or for campaigning, or it may happen that the political party may have hired a consultancy from A to Z 360-degree products, like for example, election surveys, research, manifesto, campaigning, ground surveys, everything, like A to Z, handling the whole election campaign. Okay, so it depends upon the consultancy as well. So there are various posts in a consultancy. You can work as a in the research department. So what happens in the research department? If you join the research, you will be working on making charge sheets, providing data, providing the research particular, for example, framing the press conference pointers, speeches for the politicians, preparing the manifestos, preparing the achievement documents for a political party, that what have been the achievements of a XYZ political party, and all these things. So that happens in a research department. If you are in the campaigns department, you will be working on closely with the social media team to decide that what type of campaigns will be run. For example, road shows, what sort of like selfie with Labharti, various type of campaigns that political party runs on ground campaigns as well as on social media campaigns as well. For example, you are a graphic designer, you are a video editor, you will be working in that particular department to make videos for that XYZ political party. Then there is a political intelligence department as well, where you'll be going on ground and you'll be making a questionnaire, asking questions from people, doing a survey, and then making reports and presenting it to the political party that what they have to do during elections. Okay, so these are the 3 to 4, 5 to 6 departments that every political consultancy has. And about the working hours and whether you should join a political consultancy or not. So the job of a political consultant is very different from a normal 9 to 5 job. And that's a reality. Because just think, in an IT job or in a normal job, for example, if a task is given, there is a deadline attached to that. That okay, this particular app has to be made within a month. This particular error in that code can be done within a day or two. Okay, but for a political party, a politician or a political party, the head of a political party might call your boss or might call you as well, that tomorrow morning we have decided to do a press conference. Please make a speech for us, or please prepare a press conference pointers for us. And since the whole political party is dependent upon, they have taken your services, they have taken the services of your consultancy, you have to provide it. So it has happened with me, and I really enjoy it. Okay, I really enjoy it just because I have a lot of interest in politics. So we wake up till 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. at night. We prepare press conference pointers. We work on manifestos. We work on preparing speech pointers as well. So if you don't like politics at all, you are thinking that, okay, I'll have a 9 to 5 job and after 5, I'll say, okay, tata, bye bye to my boss and the political party. That's not going to work. Okay, especially during the elections or like 2 to 3 months before the elections, the schedule is very tight. The whole political party is dependent upon you. Every politician, you will be assigned with some politician. Okay, so it's very, and it happens with every department. It's not that the people who are working in the research department, they are chilling. No, because they can be called up to make a document right at 11 in the night or 12 in the night, or a campaign person can be called to prepare a very small campaign within a day, to prepare the brochures, or a graphic designer or a video editor can be called that please prepare a video within 30 minutes. कोई कंट्रोवर्सी हुई है, कोई ट्विटर के ऊपर कोई वीडियो वायरल हुआ है, so you have to make a video on that. So it's like a very dynamic job sort of thing, if you are saying. So if you want to enter this particular field, you should know about your interest, that whether you'll be able to handle that much amount of pressure or not. Because that's my experience. What I have observed is that people do enter into this political consultancy just because political consultancies also pay well, better than public policy, but they are not able to handle that much amount of pressure. They are not
Right.
able to enjoy their weekends. You will not be able to get, sometimes, I'm not saying every time, but during elections you will not be able to get time to get vacation, those Saturday Sundays and all. Then people get fed up of this whole particular schedule, and then they say that okay, we don't want to work for that in this particular political field. So this is the thing. Politics requires your time. Politics require you, your skills. So if you are ready to give them, wholeheartedly welcome to a political consultancy in this particular field. Otherwise, I think so you should try at public policy then.
Expectation question is very important because people are very interested or very with enthusiastic when they join, but later on they
Yes,
just
yes.
leave the job and they're like it's not worth it. So I think this is everything everyone should keep in mind, that this is what you can expect from here, right? Thank you so much, Ritwik, for being here with us and for your insightful information
Thank you, Jessica.
and
Thank
the
you.
knowledge you have shared. I hope it will help a lot of people who are very much confused in their college or in young profession, or maybe they are in their 30s and rethinking their career. So it's never too late to start. So all one who is listening, and thank you so much, Ritwik.
Yeah, thank you so much.